Hey guys, it's Omer from MMOs.com doing a quick week news recap of all major MMO news and announcements at the week ending April 27th, 2020. This is episode number 242 of the recap, and the first of news this week comes from Square Enix regarding their newest update, which is patch 5.3 titled Reflections in Crystal, which is the next major update for Final Fantasy XIV. As we mentioned before, 5.3 was set to launch in mid-June, but due to the coronavirus and other delays, it's been delayed for up to a month. We just had a live letter with the producer this weekend, and we now know what to expect for patch 5.3, and there's a lot. Expect new main story quests, an overhaul of the main story quest in A Realm Reborn, the base game, flying the Realm Reborn zones, yet another near crossover alliance raid, a new dungeon, a new trial, more relic weapon quests, new beast tribe quests, new game plus updates, and most interestingly, a new Unreal trial system, which lets players challenge powered up primals from earlier expansions. There's a lot to look forward to, but unfortunately we won't be getting this update till late June at the earliest, or mid-July. But I'm super glad to see them remaking old content relevant again with the Unreal trial system. Next up, we have an update for an oldie, Guild Wars. Yes, the original Guild Wars is celebrating its 15th anniversary with a special event which allows players to get free anniversary sets from the Ancient Anniversary Weaponsmith. And more interestingly, and news to many I imagine, the original Guild Wars is still alive and does get updated from time to time. There's been a few threads on Reddit showing the game's recent popularity as well, so people still do play the original Guild Wars. And I think Guild Wars actually pioneered the pay once, play forever concept in MMOs. It was the first MMO to offer that, whereas everything else back in the day was subscription based or free to play. So this is the first game amongst MMOs that you only pay once to play forever. Speaking of oldies, Dungeons & Dragons Online launched update 46 this last week, which introduces a new quest pack at Gatekeeper's Grove in the harbor area of Eberron. Introduces new content which is accessible to low-level players and is available for free to VIP subscribers and will be available to the Indie Cash Shop in the future. And besides the new content, which is available for paying users, introduces numerous free changes such as class updates, visual improvements, two-handed swords, club attack animations, item tweaks, and more. And as I said, DDO is actually an oldie. It originally launched as a subscription-based MMORPG back in 2006 and eventually went free-to-play. It's one of the first Western MMORPGs to go from subscription-based to free-to-play, though it's more of a hybrid now as more serious players doing to pay up to access the most relevant content. Up next, we have yet another update for an oldie, Cabal Online. Yes, Cabal from ESO going to update this week titled Triumph, which has actually added 2 new dungeons to the game, a new collection system, a new guild treasure system, Force Wing Transcendence, and more. It's actually a pretty big update for the game. Now, Cabal Online is an oldie. It launched back in 2008 here in the West, which is 12 years ago now, and yes, it's still up and running and still gets regular updates. It's amazing to see how many of these older free-to-play MMORPGs are actually still around today. And even though Cabal isn't particularly popular, it's survived for 12 years now. Next up, we have another oldie. Shot Online from Games Campus and WebZen launched an update this week titled Renew, which revamps a lot of the content in this golfing MMO. Yes, it's a self-described golfing MMO. The Renew update adds new rewards for level 190 plus players, adds a new golf club trading system, increases XP rates, and adds new golf courses to the miniature mode, optimizes the game, and a few other changes. And ever since Pongya shut down now years ago, Shot Online has been really the only free-to-play golfing MMO in town. And this one launched back in 2004. And what's amazing is that this game is clearly profitable as it's been running for 16 years now. It launched around the same time that World of Warcraft did back in November of 2004, and it's been running non-stop since. And I can't imagine this update will bring too many players back into the game, but I'm sure the game's player base definitely appreciates it. And I'm moving right along, one more oldie. Lord of the Rings Online is celebrating its 13th anniversary with a new update titled Update 26, Mist of the Wilderland, which introduces the new Wells of Langflood zone and is a company quest which kicks off the Legacy of Durin and Trials of the Dwarves storylines. The new quest pack, which includes raids and instances, will be available for free until April 30th. Also, to celebrate the game's 13th anniversary, the game is giving away free premium and VIP to everyone for a limited time, along with other goodies. I got a hand to the folks at Lord of the Rings Online. Most events rarely give out premium currency or VIP status, so these rewards for the 13th anniversary are actually pretty good. I would love to see more free-to-play MMORPGs give away free premium currency in their events, but that's a pretty rare thing to happen. Up next, in somewhat newer MMORPG news, Twin Saga, the anime-inspired fantasy MMORPG from Area Games and X-Legend, launched patch 25 this week, which increased the game's level cap to 95, and added 2 new maps. As always, you know it's a big update when they increase the game's level cap. Also including the update is an increased profession cap to 95, a new dungeon, new story quest, 10 new astral adventures, and a new Senshi quest. If you never played this one, it's not too bad. The story is actually surprisingly fun and written for comedic purposes, so if you're bored, maybe check out Twin Saga. Next up, Magic Legends, the upcoming Magic the Gathering themed MMORPG from Cryptic Studios, released a dev blog earlier this week talking about the game's player housing system through their realm system. Housing Magic Legends will be more than just a place to chill and show off decor, as it will provide in-game combat benefits apparently. By upgrading players' houses, people can actually upgrade their entire workstations, as well as allow them to unlock new classes, spells, mission rewards, and more. So housing clearly plays a bigger role in Magic Legends than most MMORPGs. I do think, though, in general, most MMORPGs don't do enough with player housing. I think it should play a bigger role in practically every MMORPG, both gameplay-wise and just cosmetic and collecting-wise. Time will tell, though, if Magic Legends' take on player housing ends up being interesting, but I'm glad to see them at least putting an emphasis on it. Up next, World of Warcraft's upcoming expansion showed off a new roguelike dungeon called Torghast, Tower of the Damned, which is similar in concept to Palace of the Dead in Final Fantasy XIV. It's essentially a randomly generated roguelike dungeon that players can climb starting at the first floor, and as they climb, the dungeon gets progressively more and more challenging and more difficult. The interesting part, of course, is the roguelike element, as every attempt to climb the tower is different, both in terms of enemies encountered and anima powers that players gain. So as players climb the tower, they can find random power-ups of varying rarity, so every run does feel interesting and different. It's amazing to see MMORPGs encompass like totally different games within them. We've seen Battle Royale in Black Desert, and now WoW is adding a roguelike dungeon, which is really cool. Now, obviously, they aren't the first to do it, as Final Fantasy XIV did it with Palace of the Dead and Heaven on High now years ago, but I actually like WoW's implementation and idea on it more than Final Fantasy XIV so far, but I would like to try it myself eventually. Now, WoW Shadowlands does launch later this year still, but no official release date just yet. Next and last of news this week is from Zenimax, the studio behind Elder Scrolls Online. Apparently, a veteran Bioware developer, Colin Campbell, left Bioware to work as lead level designer for a new game being worked on by Zenimax Online Studios. The new game project has been recruiting people since 2018 and will be an entirely new IP. And given that it's Zenimax Online Studios, the new title is going to be an MMO. Unfortunately, we don't really know much anything else about it just yet, but it's good to see big budget MMOs are still being developed. Anyway, guys, that's it for MMO news this week. I'll see you guys next time. Later, guys.